Moderate Democrats in the House and Senate are holding off on committing to the Build Back Better spending package until the Congressional Budget Office evaluates it and reports on its cost and impact. Well, the first round of CBO scores just dropped. The CBO evaluated certain sections of the bill, including its impact on household of Homeland Security, small businesses, veterans in science and technology budgets. They estimate the bill so far would cost $20.5 billion from 2022 to 2031. They noted the funding would not add to the deficit after 10 years, meeting a key requirement some moderates had set. The CBO has yet to release figures on the other portions of the bill, which they expect to release in the coming weeks. Whether this will happen before November 15th, when the Speaker of the House plans to vote on the bill, remains to be seen. Joining me now to discuss is Mary C. Curtis, roll call columnist, host of Equal Time with Mary C. Curtis podcast on NPR, and senior leader of the Op-Ed Project. Mary, how are you?
So good to see you again. Actually, the Equal Time podcast is also at CQ Roll Call.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's okay.
For months, Manchin has said that the deficit is one of his primary concerns in negotiating this bill. On top of these initial numbers from the CBO, the nonpartisan Joint Committee on Taxation also gave their initial estimate that the spending bill would add close to $1.5 trillion in revenue and would likely not add to the deficit long term. Do you believe that the CBO scoring and what we already knew about the scoring of this bill will push Manchin to be out of excuses and have to vote for it?
Well, you never know what Manchin is going to do because he has been having some problems with some of the climate change provisions in the bill. You saw him just recently object to the credit that folks would get for electric vehicles that were U.S. made in a union facility. He says that's not who we are and we shouldn't pick winners and losers, although that's what happens all the time. And you also have seen him criticize the paid leave provision, which has been out and in of the bill. He said it would lead to an entitlement society, although it's a very popular provision. So, and at the same time, it's been reported he's floating a book. So Manchin, it seems like he moves the goalposts a bit. But this is something that says, listen, your main problem with this, that it would add to the debt, that it would hurt, it would cause more inflation. These are kind of dropping away with the CBO score. And, it seems like we've been talking about this for a long time because they really do need it, because let's not even talk about the Republicans. They are not going to support anything coming out of here. So right now, Nancy Pelosi is saying she still wants to have that vote the week of November 15th, although the rest of the CBO estimates probably won't happen before then.
Do you believe that Manchin is simply looking for a deal breaker, looking for a way out?
Well, he is really trying to walk that tightrope. He has described himself as a conservative Democrat. And when it was reported that he was thinking of switching parties, he said, oh, there's nothing to that. But you really do wonder, because West Virginia actually needs a lot of these provisions when it comes from everything from all the child care help. I'm sure the folks there don't want to give the money back they've already had, and they want to keep getting it for child care and child tax credits, to the climate, which we see has been affected very much so in West Virginia. But he does seem to be at the center and liking to be at the center of all these decisions. He knows his power, but there's going to be a lot of pressure on him from the party, because this means a big deal for President Joe Biden's and his administration's Build Back Better agenda. And we see that President Biden's popularity is sinking and people want results. Right now, you see the president going around the country telling people just what they're going to get from the bill that was already passed, the infrastructure bill. And he's going to be wanting to, as well as all of these Democrats running in the midterms, to tout all the things that are in the bill. So, he is going to get pressure, I think, from the rest of the party.
This all comes on the heels of the inflation numbers that were released yesterday. Manchin had cited rising inflation as another reason that some of the parts of the Biden agenda might need to be addressed or dropped. How do you think that plays into these negotiations?
Well, of course, the numbers aren't good on inflation, but so many people, the economists, are saying, you know what? A lot of this is because we had a pandemic, and now people want to buy. That supply chain is, backed up. And this really doesn't really relate, in a sense, to the bill. And we see President Biden already trying to break up some of those log jams. And a lot of the money from infrastructure is going to go to upgrading these ports so we can get everything moving. So, of course, that inflation number he will bring up, and that is a problem. But that really is separate, I think, from so many of the things that are in the bill, particularly with the CBO now saying, you know what, we're nonpartisan and we're looking at this, and it's not going to increase the deficit. It's going to be hard to fight those numbers if you're Joe Manchin.
We keep seeing this bill be pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. We're getting to the end of the year. The Congress is going to go into recess for the holidays. Do you think that a bill will be voted on and passed before the holidays arrive?
Well, Thanksgiving is the first one coming up, and I don't think all those CBO numbers will be there. But then when you hear Nancy Pelosi saying the Speaker of the House, and you realize how powerful she is, and she can count votes, I think she will really push it because she knows that really not only the fate of the administration, but her speakership hangs in the balance. And you can see Kevin McCarthy, salivating at the chance of thinking if we can just stall everything and not have the Democrats be able to tout anything, the Republicans can take the House back, particularly since they're helped with all the voting rules and the gerrymandering and redistricting. So I think that there probably will be a vote because I think it is that crucial. And the leaders of the Democratic Party realize that, and the Biden administration realizes that as well. So I think the next few weeks
Right.
are crucial when you see those numbers come in.
If it passes in the House, we'll just have to see what happens in the Senate. Mary C. Curtis, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.